Open almost any comment section about MSG, and you'll find two very different opinions. Some people refuse to cook with it. Others swear it's one of the greatest ingredients ever discovered. So who's right? The answer is more interesting than you might think. Behind three simple letters, M, S, and G, is a story involving science, misinformation, world cuisine, and one of the most powerful flavor enhancers ever discovered. Let's start with what MSG actually is. The name stands for monosodium glutamate. It sounds like something created in a laboratory, but glutamate is anything but unusual. It's a naturally occurring amino acid found in foods we eat every day, including tomatoes, mushrooms, Parmesan cheese, seaweed, soy sauce, peas, and even human breast milk. Your own body also produces and uses glutamate as part of its normal biology. In other words, this isn't a foreign substance, it's something humans have always encountered. So why does MSG have such a controversial reputation? To answer that, we have to go back to 1968. A physician wrote a brief letter to the editor of a medical journal describing symptoms he experienced after eating at Chinese restaurants and wondering what might have caused them. The letter wasn't a scientific study or proof of a cause. But newspapers quickly picked up the story, and the idea spread around the world. Over time, what began as speculation became accepted by many people as fact. Scientists eventually began testing the claim under controlled conditions. Study after study looked for consistent evidence that MSG causes the symptoms often associated with what became known as Chinese restaurant syndrome. The results were remarkably consistent. For the vast majority of people, normal amounts of MSG consumed with food do not reliably produce those effects. As the evidence grew, the original claim became increasingly difficult to support. Since then, researchers have studied MSG for decades. Major scientific and health organizations around the world, including regulators in the United States, Europe, Japan, and many other countries, consider MSG safe when consumed in normal amounts as part of a balanced diet. A small number of people may experience temporary symptoms after consuming large amounts, particularly without food, but consistent evidence does not support the widespread belief that MSG is inherently harmful. If science has largely settled the safety question, another mystery remains. Why do professional chefs and food scientists keep praising MSG? The answer is umami. Unlike sweetness or acidity, umami doesn't announce itself immediately. Instead, it creates richness, depth, and a satisfying savoriness that makes food feel more complete. MSG provides glutamate, the molecule largely responsible for that sensation. Think about the foods people crave. A bowl of ramen. A slice of aged Parmesan. Slow-cooked mushrooms. Soy sauce. Tomato sauce simmered for hours. These foods don't necessarily taste salty or spicy. They taste deeply satisfying. That's umami at work, and glutamate is one of its main building blocks. Here's something surprising: many cooks already use MSG without realizing it. Worcestershire sauce, fish sauce, soy sauce, tomato paste, anchovies, and aged cheeses are all naturally rich in glutamates. When chefs layer these ingredients together, they're building umami in exactly the same way, just using different sources. Pure MSG simply offers another tool. Because it contains significantly less sodium than table salt by weight, a small amount can increase savory flavor while allowing cooks to reduce overall sodium in some recipes. That's one reason it has become popular in both professional kitchens and food manufacturing. But more isn't better. MSG should never dominate a dish. Used well, you probably won't notice it at all. Instead, you'll notice that soups taste fuller, roasted vegetables seem more satisfying, and sauces develop a rounder, richer flavor. Like many great seasonings, its best work happens quietly. Different cuisines have been building umami long before scientists understood why it worked. Japanese dashi combines seaweed and bonito flakes. Italian cooking pairs tomatoes with Parmesan. Korean cuisine layers fermented ingredients. Across the world, cooks discovered through experience what science would later explain. If you decide to cook with MSG, use it sparingly. Think of it as another seasoning, not a replacement for good ingredients. It cannot rescue bland vegetables or poorly cooked meat. What it can do is support flavors that are already there, making a well-balanced dish even more satisfying. Perhaps the biggest lesson isn't about MSG at all. It's about how easily food myths can spread. A single story can shape public opinion for decades, while careful scientific research often takes much longer to change people's minds. That's why curiosity and evidence matter so much in cooking. Professional chefs don't ask whether an ingredient sounds natural or artificial. They ask a different question: does it make the food taste better? Sometimes the answer comes from butter. Sometimes from lemon juice. Sometimes from freshly toasted spices. And sometimes from a tiny pinch of MSG. 3 letters. Decades of controversy. Countless misconceptions. Yet when you strip away the myths, MSG becomes something much simpler, a seasoning that helps bring out savory flavor. Whether you choose to use it or not is entirely up to you. But understanding what it is, and what it isn't, makes you a better informed cook. Because in the kitchen, knowledge is just as important as the ingredients themselves.